Ryan and Joe, I want you to blind rank these 5 jobs to show up drunk to, with number 1 being the most appropriate, number 5 being the least appropriate. All right? Your first choice is forklift operator.
I'm gonna go dead middle with 3.
I'm going 2. I don't think it'd be that hard. Okay, also, forklifts are like small cars. They can't be that much harder than driving a car.
Okay.
And, studies show that
practice makes perfect, and I'm going to cut you off there.
Practice makes perfect. It's not the drunk
What's
drivers,
up,
it's the
Joe's
drunk
future
crashers.
Employer?
True. Joe's future employer, please watch this. All right, your next choice is heart surgeon.
I feel like you have. So 1 is the least appropriate.
1 is most appropriate.
1 is most appropriate.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna say 5.
All right, 5.
I'm also going to go 5.
Okay,
I
you're gonna
feel
go
like
5.
you can't. That's too dangerous.
Okay. Okay, so you have 2 is forklift, 5 is heart surgeon.
Yes.
You have 3 and 5.
Yeah.
All right. Middle school English teacher. Now, I want to explain this a little bit further. Middle school English teacher, and it's 9 a.m. So you're either had a good night last night or a crazy morning. And it's 9 a.m. second period.
I'm gonna say. I don't know what you have in store, obviously, but I think I'm gonna go with 2. No,
Okay.
sorry, 4.
4.
Yeah, 4.
I'm going to go with 1.
Okay.
I actually had a teacher. She wasn't an English teacher. She was a Spanish teacher, but they did fire her for that reason. But she got away with it for months, so I feel like you can't.
Interesting.
Yeah, like it can't be that hard.
Now, did you tell? Could you tell?
I think she started after I left because
Okay.
the kids in the year of under us are horrible.
Oh, so she just got into it.
So I
Her
think
job
she
forced her into it.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the kids forced her into it.
Okay, I see.
But if she drank while she was teaching us, I couldn't tell. Which
Good for
also
her.
makes me think, maybe that justifies my 1.
At that point, should you get fired for it?
Hey, go off test scores. If you can
What's
do
up,
it,
Joe's future
if you
employer again?
if you can do it without sacrificing any metric that would show your success, why wouldn't you?
Well, we wish that Spanish teacher well. And your second to last one is high school football coach.
And 1 is most appropriate.
1 is most
1.
appropriate.
Was that Dan or Jack?
That was
I'll put that one at a 3 because I actually would have put that one higher, but
That's the one in the heartbeat.
I don't have
that one. I feel like you have to be obligated to show up drunk too, at least like
I feel
several
like,
days a week.
I agree. That's at least in order to get into that mindset, you got to have at least a couple shots first.
And your last one is Jim Whalen, Atlantic City Boardwalk Hall security guard.
And what do I have left? I have 2.
You have
Yeah, I have 2
you have
left.
2 left.
2 is fine. 2 is perfect.
I am comfortable with 4. They took their jobs very, very seriously.
They had a job to do.
They did
They
have
had
a job to do. They clearly were not under the influence of anything, any depressant, I should say. And they did a wonderful job.
I spoke to a lovely lady there. She was working the back part of the arena, like the back rooms, and her job was to sit in a chair all day and just watch people walk by. And I talked to her every time I went to the bathroom. It was great. And you know what? She said something that's going to stick with me for a long time. I said, you work long days, right? She goes, well, I just sit, but sometimes I get up and smoke. And that really sticks to me because there's not many people in America left that still use the smoke break, but she's one of them.
I actually saw a security guard at one of the tables adjacent to the arena, like kind of in line with our bleachers,
Yeah.
but to the side. And he was just broad daylight on his computer with a mouse playing Minecraft during the entire event.
Holy Pete.
All right, well, that was our blind ranking. Thank you, folks. And let's get into the episode now. Was there ever like an aide that had to come in and watch you just while class was going on?
Because of the comparison of hints that are
I don't-
given on
I don't
this
wanna
show
hear it. I don't wanna
is
hear it.
actually
I don't wanna hear
egregious.
it. Ladies
We
and
got
gentlemen.
spoon
Ladies and gentlemen, cut his mic.
I think the Philly starters are the best place to go.
Good, great.
All
take
of
that,
them,
take
all
that,
of
take
them
that.
are all
Yep,
stars,
take that.
basically.
And let's talk about the Guardians bullpen, folks. Let's talk about the Guardians bullpen.
One member of the Guardians bullpen that
That-
will not be returning for
That
next
would have
season.
been an all-star.
Two members of their bullpen.
Would have been reliever of the year. What did he do? He gambled. So this is not on me. This is actually on Emmanuel Clase.
Tank for his future. All I want to succeed.
No, don't tank. Just go for it now. You have no future. If you have no future, just go for it now.
That's an us meme. That's an us meme.
That is not this meme. Dobby was
Half
so,
of the likes on that are from us.
Dobby was so big.
You can be dyslexic and love spelling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 3 Points Podcast. My name is Matt Meany. On this side is Joe Marone. On that side is Ryan Buchan. In the booth behind the glass is Dan Green and intern Jack. Please stay silent, intern Jack. We get a lot to catch up on. We've been away for a while. It's mostly been Joe's schedule.
Okay.
He's arguably the busiest of all of us.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
So, just it's good to have you in the studio, Joe. It's nice to be back. And Ryan, I guess. But, you're more available than Joe.
Yeah, clearly.
I have 21 credits this semester.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
And how much time do you spend on Instagram Reels each day?
What's your screen time?
Average? You don't want to look at my screen. Actually, I'll pull up my screen.
Live bet Joe screen time right
Yeah,
now.
let's hear.
What's the over under?
Wait, screen time or time per week on Instagram?
Let's just start at screen time.
Okay. I have my daily average, and based off my daily average, I'm gonna go the line for Joe should be 9.5 hours.
I was going to also say 9.5, and I will take the over.
I will also take the over.
You're both taking the over on 9.5 hours. As of this week, we are at 8 hours 58 minutes.
Wow.
That's tough.
Good for you.
Okay.
That's
Good
tough.
for you. What was last week?
I don't. How do I check that?
that?
How do I? Well, it's the average.
But still in time for a big weekend here with this.
How
Saturday.
do I check my other weeks? So this?
You have a 3-hour bus ride tomorrow.
No, that's part of it.
Yeah, click on that.
Oh, here we go. 9:26 last week.
Wow.
9:10, 8:25.
So that was a good line.
That was a good
That
line.
was a good line.
Yeah.
So far. Okay, that's last week because it was a full week. You want to guess the amount of hours I was on Instagram over the entire week?
Total hours.
Yes.
Not just average.
Total
I
hours
think-
over the week.
I think the line is 22.5
I was
hours.
going to say 21. So
21 hours on. All right.
gonna
'Cause
go-
I'm going to average that 4 to 5 hours of your day on Instagram.
I'm going to go the under on Ryan's line.
What? So
I'll also take the under, but I think it's close.
So you guys are gonna be shocked. My usage on Instagram last week was 7 hours and 54 minutes.
No.
That's
No.
because I have
Flag.
19 hours on YouTube.
All right. Well, that'll do.
I have 5 hours on Hulu, 3.5 hours on Nessun 360.
So that's one Bruins game.
the whole week?
That's
2 Bruins games.
yeah, probably 2, and then there's probably some stupid game on like ESPN Plus or something.
What are you watching on Hulu?
Probably the other Bruins games
Oh. Okay.
and Crunchyroll. Because
How much? Because Crunchyroll was the second one up there. So
that
how
was
much time
8 hours, but that's only because I've been binging one show,
What show?
Jujutsu Kaisen,
What the heck is that?
which actually Jack recommended it to me. I usually don't watch. This is actually I stole Jack's subscription to Crunchyroll. This is like the first week that I've actually been on it, but I've gotten my usage out so far.
Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah,
What is that?
I think I hear Tom talk about this show.
yeah.
Tommy
They
show?
Yeah, band.
they have like
my
powers.
gosh.
It's like a normal show where they have powers and they fight monsters and stuff. Like it's a normal like anime topic.
Okay. All right.
Interesting.
So Joe's screen time, not as bad as we all thought, which I'm proud
And
of you.
To be fair, like a lot of the time I'm doing something else and I just also happen to be watching YouTube in the background.
Right.
Or something else. Like I just can't focus on one thing at once, so I have to have at least 2 screens on.
I would say that's my screen time too. Is like mostly just YouTube, podcasts, music.
Yeah.
Ryan, would you share that sentiment?
I would check because I also will fall asleep to YouTube videos. So like when that happens, it tanks my screen time.
I did have a couple hours on Brawl Stars, though. That is active playing.
Right. Now, do you listen to things in the background while you're on Brawl Stars?
No, you. No,
because you listen to the audio.
No, because usually I'm talking to Jack and Cal on Brawl Stars because we have to have good comms because we play ranked.
Are you ranked?
They use this. Who are you?
We started using Discord because what we used to do is because Jack and I we live together. We live with Ryan as well. Spoiler. So we can just walk to each other's room and have a conversation. But Cal, which is
he's interned a few times.
He's probably been here. He also plays in, but he doesn't live with us. So we used to just have one of us call him on speaker, but we've learned that we can just use Discord and it's so much easier and faster.
Wow. Well, I don't know if that's true, but I'm proud of you for that.
This first 10 minutes really makes me look like a chud, and I promise I'm not that bad.
Joe, let's talk about your shirts for a second. This is a new shirt. And this makes up now about 10% of your shirt collection.
5%.
I think 8%.
We can compromise.
We can compromise.
7.5.
7.5%. Yeah.
Well, because if it was 5%, that would mean he has 20 shirts.
Right. Yeah. And I don't think you have
7.5
is
15 shirts.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I'm comfortable with that line.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Joe's got a new shirt. Let's all appreciate that for a little bit.
New shirt.
We really haven't
It's
had
just
a podcast.
It's like 3 months. This is the biggest thing that's happened the past 3 months.
Ryan, can you give us one life update? So Joe got a new shirt.
That's my
his
life update. Wait, I have 2 life updates. My second life update: Jalen Waddle to the Broncos. We're going to the Super Bowl next year.
All right, Ryan, you have to match that now with another life update.
I got this hat and Trent McDuffie to the Rams. We're going to the Super Bowl next year.
All right. Wow.
Name a Giants signing.
Let's hear about the Giants.
I have a ton. Patrick Ricard to the Giants. We're going to the Super Bowl.
I actually put out a reel on Talking Giants where I edited the last touchdown signed by the number of free agents that the Giants have signed. And I woke up to a Slack today from Justin Pennick, and he said it did pretty well.
Oh,
so we have a plethora of free agent signings.
Hey, I'm actually happy with. I'm not happy, but I am admirable of the place that the Giants are right now. Because
they're in a very good spot.
The rebuild is working out right now,
and you have this culture that's going for you, and I'm a fan of the Giants culture.
There's a culture, yeah. No, it's coming around.
It's young, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's gonna be a real team eventually. Even if it's not this year, we got.
Did you lose? Who's the wide receiver 2 after Neighbors?
Wandale Robinson.
Yeah, he went somewhere.
He went to the Titans. Yeah. It was just a big swap of this whole free agent market.
He went to just ruin his career on the Titans.
Well, this whole free agent market was just like you went to sign with your new coach or your new GM. Like the Giants just got all the Ravens. The Tennessee Titans got a bunch of Giants.
And Jets.
And Jets, too, yes. There was another team like that, too. Am I missing one, Dan? That was just a big switch?
I think there were a couple, 1 or 2 Chargers that went with Jesse Minter to the Ravens.
Yes.
There were some of those. What's it called? Malik Willis went to
to Dolphins, right.
Before they traded Jalen Waddle.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders are, I don't think they're succeeding, but they are putting an effort to try and be the worst franchise in the league. I mean, the Jets just have too much generational horridness, but the Raiders are trying to get there.
I think it's the Jets right now.
If Max Crosby was not going to be on the team next year, then there's another conversation.
Yes.
But the defense isn't going to be completely bare bones now.
They also have Tyler Linderbaum, who's, I think, arguably one of the best centers of the past 20 years.
Yeah.
It's not a
crazy take. I think Jason Kelsey probably takes
is the number one.
Top.
Yeah.
But so what is your guys' perfect finish to the free agency right now
for my team?
Yeah, like can the Rams improve?
Does
right
this
now,
talk
really?
about the draft too, or is it?
Yeah, let's include.
We can include the draft.
All right. If we're talking about the draft, I think Well, I'll talk about the Trent McDuffie trade. I think because that's a two-parter. You have to look at the Jalen Watson signing as well. We took the Chiefs CB 1 and 2. I think the Jalen Watson signing went very under the radar. We addressed our biggest issue, which was defensive backs, and got 2 studs. The Trent McDuffie trade, I think it looked like a lot to people, but we gave up We gave up our first-round pick this year. We still have the Falcons, which is pick 13, so I'm fine with that. I honestly thought we were going to ship them both out.
And that's rare to have a Rams first-round pick.
Yes, very rare. So I'm still not sold that we're going to use it right now. I'm a little on the fence about that. But I think really, like, I'll be honest. I think of our 3 teams, I think, like, the Broncos are, like, the closest competitively, like, roster-wise. I really just think the Rams have a plethora of riches now after the cornerback signings. So greedily, I'd say we should draft Mekhi Lennon of USC, who's the wide receiver, because I think if you do, like, people want us to draft Jeremiah Love or, like, trade up. I think that's stupid. We have Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. That's fine. Obviously, Devontae and Puka, like, aren't going anywhere, and that's gonna stay. But I don't know. Like, I've seen, like, some rumors about trading for AJ Brown. I'd rather draft Mekhi Lennon, honestly, and not take on the AJ contract or a package. But I guess that would be my perfect bow on it. Like, honestly, I think the Rams have had a great offseason. So
we're going to go to Mel Kiper's draft board here to see who you guys have at 13. And
wait, or maybe like one of those, like, a LSU defensive backs.
So Mel Kiper has you with Francis Maigoa, an offensive tackle from Miami, which I don't.
I think we're fine. We had one of our tackles, Rob Havenstein, retired this offseason. Like, that's a loss for the culture. He was the last St. Louis Ram besides Jake McQuaid. But I don't know. I'm honestly fine with it. Like, in our offensive line, he was injured most of the season anyway, so they played like the backup, and he did great. I think the offensive line was young. They took a really big step. I think most underrated trade of probably, like, the last while was Rams got Kevin Dotson for, like, nothing from the Steelers, like a 6th-round pick, and he has proved to be, like, he should be getting some, like, Pro Bowl nods. But I don't know. Like, I don't think we can really go wrong at this point. I think, like, if you draft a running back, you go wrong, but that's really it for me.
Joe, Broncos offseason outlook?
Honestly, I don't think a lot had to change this offseason. A little bit of turnover in the defense. The Jalen Waddle signing is huge for the offense. The only big other piece for the offense that I think is pretty in need is tight end. The tight end 1 is Evan Ingram, and he
was very underwhelming. Like,
he can't really. He's not that big, so he's not a great blocker, which would make you think, oh, so he's more of a passing tight end. But he also just has stone hands, so there's actually no upside to him. I see. So getting a tight end is a big one, and then just bolstering, making sure the defense doesn't get worse in any major way, and that's really the big thing that I'm looking for. Like the Jalen Waddle thing also is huge because it's like it brings every other player down the depth chart. Like Cortland Sutton as a wide receiver 1 is stretching it, but as a wide receiver 2, that he's one of the best wide receiver 2s in the league now.
Yeah. I think that's a great way to look at it. Is like you've now just bolstered your wide receiver room by having some of the best depth guys in the league.
I think for both of our teams, it wasn't about turning over of rosters. It was just like adding the Jalen Waddle, the Trent McDuffie, of one player that we were already over the hump, but that just like affirms that we're over the hump.
Yeah,
I would still love a tight end, but overall, I'd still call it a successful offseason.
Yes.
Now you guys don't have a draft pick after that.
Yes,
trade.
we did trade our draft pick to Miami for Waddle. It's pick 31, so I'm not that concerned about it anyway.
Pick 30, right?
Is it pick 30 or 31?
I think it should be 30.
30.
Patriots are 31.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's still the same thing. Yeah. 30.
Still, it's not high enough where I'm concerned about losing out on something big, especially because the return in the moment. We're in win now. Jalen Waddle helps the team tremendously now. I'm not upset about it at all. The
take.
Giants.
I like where we're at right now. I think this year is going to be interesting because I don't have crazy expectations. I'd like to see them win 7 or 8 games. I think is a good start. I think anywhere up from there would be great. As far as what we need to add, right now we have Caleb Downs projected in the 5. I love that because it gives us a backfield option, which we desperately need. I mean, this defense desperately needs something that can be a secondary, that can be competent. I mean, we've had over the years Xavier McKinney, we've had Julian Love, both walk. So who are now Julian Love, arguably top 5 safety in the league. Xavier McKinney, arguably top 2 cornerback in the league. Or is he safety still?
He's still a safety.
He's still a safety, yeah. So I'd say top 2 safety. I'd love to get Caleb Downs. I wouldn't hate taking a wide receiver there, too. I'm not. Just you play on MetLife, someone's going to have to get sacrificed to the monster to be able to keep the season alive. Yeah. And now Darnell Mooney's a big guy that we can sacrifice, but I'd love to have another wide receiver there. I wouldn't mind. I don't want Jeremiah Love, but I'd like to take a running back in maybe the 3rd or 4th round. Just because
we don't have a 3rd round pick is the issue.
That's right, yes. So I'd say 2nd round or 4th round for a running back. Just I think to ease the carries there because you have Cam Scadaboo coming off the injury.
Is he making a full return?
He should be back by opening day.
Like I've seen him like walking around and stuff, so I assumed he was doing well.
Yeah, no, he should be back, and then you'll have Tyrone Tracy, which I think is a good running back too, but just another guy to get some touches. I wouldn't mind.
So you're saying like this season, you're fine getting a worse draft pick just like for some wins and morale for Jack? Okay.
100%. Yeah. I think this is the year where you need to see wins. Like I don't want to tank again. Let's get 7 to 9 wins is a good range for us to be in.
Because you still don't entirely tank your pick there either.
No,
you're still gonna
get a middle of the pack
pick.
Yeah. And this is one where I could see us trading this pick too. Like I love a safety here. You have Sonny Styles also as a linebacker who's, I think, projected to go 7. But I could see us moving on from this pick.
Yeah, I definitely say that we still need a starting right guard, whether it's Greg Van Roden, they finally re-sign him, or Wyatt Teller, I think, is still out there for like a higher upside guy.
Isn't the whole Browns O-line, or did some of them get signed?
I think some of them got signed, but most of them were all free agents. So we still need like someone to be a right guard that isn't Evan Neal. He should be the 3rd guy coming off the bench. And I know that for myself, I particularly would rather have Styles as the pick over Downs. We have a bunch of guys that can rotate in at safety, whereas linebacker and someone that can stop the run has been something that we've been struggling with. Even when we had Wink Martindale as the DC and like we made the playoffs in 22. So I think for those reasons, like Styles and give me a guy that can be a starting right guard, and we're pretty good for 7 to 9 wins. We're in December. We are in the hunt graphic. Like, that is all Giants fans want. In the hunt graphic.
Yeah, I think that's a fair.
And let's ruin a couple seasons, too. Like, that, I think that's our playoffs is, like, whose season can we just tank at the end of the year?
I think you'll mess up. I know the Commanders had a bad season last year and definitely want to, like, bounce just right back.
Yeah.
I think you'll mess up their season. I think you kind of did last year anyway, but, like, the Eagles, I think you'll definitely mess them up. Cowboys or just whatever.
Cowboys. Who knows?
Yeah.
The NFC East is going to be interesting this year for sure.
In a year or two, it will be wide open. I think.
I think so.
I don't know. The Eagles look like
they just have they lost Reed Blankenship. They have a lot of guys that are gonna get paid.
They have gone over the hump now. I think this is the downturn of the Eagles.
I don't know how, but everywhere I look, there's a Philadelphia sport being dysfunctional. I don't know if that's like it must just be a product of the city, but
right now it's the Flyers. Are we saying?
I think
Flyers
and
the Eagles.
Yeah, it's everyone except the Phillies. Like the Sixers, even
the Phillies with the Castellanos thing and everything. Like it's not going to affect their team right now, because he's gone. But like it's just always so messy.
And the Phillies are just like they're a team that you always think are going to do it, but they have
they're going to be like a 1st or 2nd round exit again.
Yeah, but they're always in the hunt though for a championship.
Yeah.
How about MLB offseason? So we got the Red Sox, the Mets, and the Yankees. Joe, why don't you start us off with a Red Sox breakdown here?
I'm very happy with the Red Sox offseason. We didn't grab some of the big names. Didn't re-sign Bregman, which definitely should have. Didn't sign Pete Alonso, which also would have been good. But the frustrating thing for the Red Sox is that we're a big market team that acts like a small market team, and that means that Craig Breslow, GM, has actually been really smart. He grabbed Caleb Durbin, who's a young guy who has upside that could fill some of that gap from Bregman. He grabbed Wilson Contreras, who's going to be an everyday first baseman, not to the same level as Pete Alonso, but also is a lot cheaper. And like he's making these moves. The rotation now with the additions of Sonny Gray and
Ranger
Suarez. Mm-hmm. That like it's looking fantastic. It's just I wish we could have gone for the big fish sooner. And now like it's the frustration from not grabbing them, but now it's like I still have that frustration residually, even though there's not much to be frustrated about now because we did end up making the moves that helped the team. It's just later than I would have liked. But in the end, the team's better than last year anyway, so I can't complain too much.
I think arguably your best move is the Caleb Durbin trade because I think that's the most value move.
Kind of fleeced the Brewers there, and
yeah,
Andrew Monasterio, who we got, who is also who is an accessory in that trade, has been looking really good in spring training. I don't know if he'd start. He might be a utility guy, or he might start in Worcester. Either way, he's looking pretty good.
Durbin's a guy I think that's going to play, if he doesn't get hurt, probably 140, 150 games this season. And I think he'd be a great addition there. Obviously, a hell of a lot cheaper than Bregman.
Yeah, and he's a near everyday infielder. I think he's going to be put at third base most of the time, and have Marcelo Meyer and probably Romy Gonzalez when he comes back from injury split time at second. It is what I think is going to happen. But I don't know. Alex Cora likes to switch around guys all the time. So
it is true.
For better or for worse, he really likes shifting guys around. So we'll see what happens.
So Ryan, to the Mets.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I think the last podcast we filmed was the day Alonso signed with the Orioles.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So obviously we've had some time to mature and reflect a little bit. Like obviously I think the Mets are the biggest, I don't know, like flashiest story just because of how many key losses we had. I still think reflecting the Semien trade was odd at the time, but I think now, especially seeing the way Carson Benz has played, I feel a little bit better about the whole outfield situation. I think defensively he will prove better for our infield. Mark Vientos he's gone soon. Like there's no way. Like that's just gonna be awful. I mean the way Clay Holmes performed in the World Baseball Classic, I feel pretty good. I know Nolan McLean didn't get like a whole lot of run support, and he had some pretty brutal homers off him, but like still feel fine about him. The Freddie trade, I am gonna miss Brandon Sprout. Like obviously Jet Williams we never really got to see yet, but Sprout was kind of nasty, and I think they're gonna thrive in Milwaukee. So I need that Peralta extension to happen. But I feel in a good spot. I think the whole bit is like if the Mets have expectations, they suck, and if they don't, like 2024, they kind of just perform, I guess. So I don't know what I'll expect. I mean, same thing like WBC. Juan Soto kicked ass for the DR, like straight up. So I think it'll be an interesting year.
Who's the pitcher on Team USA? That's McLean?
Yeah.
No.
I thought he looked really, outside of the couple homers, I thought he looked really good in the WBC.
Yeah, it was those, like the homers, and obviously like, yeah, like you give up a homer, like that's on you, but also I don't think there was a single run earned for him while he was pitching either. So like stuff like that of, yeah, it's on him for giving up the homer, but there also was no run support. But I feel fine, especially having him as a 2. I think making Freddie the 1 is a smart decision. I think throwing Nolan into that fire would have been a pretty crazy thing. But, I mean, if Kodai can get back into form a little bit, I know Sean Manaea is having a rough ramp-up, right now, but I feel okay.
Ryan, what do you think of Juan Soto going to left instead of right?
I think it's like fine. Truthfully, I haven't watched a whole lot of Mets spring training because a lot of them haven't been on SNY, but I think it's just gonna I don't think it should have too much of an issue. I think it'll also be determined about what they do with Carson Benj, and I forget the guy who's like battling him for it right now.
I mean,
but
and also as far as changing positions go, that's not the hardest load.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
switching
that's-
outfields.
I think left field, I think, is a weirder position than right field.
It depends. Like, people say that Citi Field left is easier to play, whereas, like, Yankee Stadium left is harder to play, especially because, like, at Yankee Stadium, at least, the wall cuts more in
Yes.
towards the foul line, so you get a lot of weird bounces off, whereas in right field, I guess at Citi Field, that's where it's more difficult to
Yeah,
play.
because there's like that weird come out, sit at the
Yeah.
fence thing.
I definitely say Fenway left is harder as well.
Yeah.
Fenway left, you have to know.
It bounces off the wall. You have to practice that.
You have to know, yeah.
Yeah, but all in all, I feel like it'll be solid. I know some people have the Mets going semi deep from what I've read, but I'm just a very nervous skeptic about it.
I don't know how deep the National League's going to be this year.
I
at
think
the
that's
very
why.
least, between the Phillies, Mets, and Braves in the East, at least one of those teams is going to get a wild card. There's a chance that whatever team doesn't get first, the other two teams will make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you see the Brewers, if they don't get the division, they'll get a wild card. I mean, I don't know who else would really push them to that division, but
Maybe the Cubs.
The
Like,
Cubs-
they just
I guess
traded for
Cubs
Edward
could.
Cabrera.
that's true, yeah. The Cubs could.
In the West, the Giants might rebound, might not. And
but
then
they'll be a wild card team.
they can
Yeah.
they'll definitely compete for the wild card. And same thing with the Padres.
Yeah.
The Padres are still. I don't know how they keep signing new guys. They have no ability. They can't draft.
They're just a perennial wild card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
They-
feel like
they
they're in a
can't
rough
develop
cycle.
talent.
Yeah, but
That's not true. The Padres always have a top 10 prospect. And that's
But-
why,
and then- but
Leo
then-
got traded. Leo DeVries got
yeah,
traded.
but then they
right,
trade
but
him.
then they trade them. They don't have the hometown kid. I mean, Jackson Merrill's the closest guy. Fernando Tatis came over in a trade too, when he was high up in the system. You know, I don't know if I'm missing anyone else, but I can't find a hometown kid.
Which there's
Padres.
not necessarily anything
No,
super
there's
bad
nothing wrong
about
with
that.
it, yeah.
But the thing with them is I feel like they're in that cycle where they are constantly on the fringe of winning, so they feel like they need to improve every season,
Yes.
and then the improvements also lead to their shortcomings where they can't develop something organically.
Yeah.
You want to hit this one?
Oh yeah, the Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees. I don't think they had a good offseason. I think they didn't go for the big guy.
Who would you have liked for them to grab?
So I didn't want Kyle Tucker. I think Kyle Tucker was crazy overpaid. That's not a guy I think you want to add. I liked the deal they got Bellinger at. I thought he was going to get more, so I think it's good, 30 a year. I wouldn't have hated to have seen them just get a starter. A Ranger Suarez I would have liked, because I think the thing with Yankees pitching is, they have a ton of upside, but they can also use some of these younger guys in trades. I think there's a lot of trade value. Not a Schlittler, but a Warren has a lot of trade value. Will Warren. Luis Heel has some good upside trade value.
he
Dan,
finally had a good outing in spring tonight.
he did.
Like,
He looked
was
real good today.
tonight.
Yeah. He looks like he's going to be a good number 5, possibly a long man out of the pen, depending on what the health looks like. I think overall it was an average offseason. I think they have a lot in the system where they do have guys coming up. Carlos Legrand will be up soon with a triple-digit fastball. Obviously, triple-digit fastball means that you can't break Yankees camp because you have to be over the hill to get a starting spot on this team. You know, Randall Grichuk will definitely be on this opening day roster ahead of Spencer Jones. That's where we are as an organization. But they have talent that's waiting where I think they can perform well.
I did like the Bellinger signing. I thought he could have asked for more and gotten it on other teams or on the Yankees still.
Yeah.
like cheaper than I thought he would go.
I would have liked a shortstop too. Corey Seager I think was possibly our best option. The Rangers obviously didn't trade him. They said they weren't going to. They kind of flip-flopped a little bit, it seemed.
There was some weird noise on a couple infielders. The
There
other
was,
one,
yeah.
Ketel Marte.
Yes.
Was rumored the Diamondbacks might trade him, but he's still on the team probably for opening day.
Well, like at last year's trade deadline, reports started coming out during the offseason that the Red Sox were close to a deal for him at the deadline
Yes.
last year. But the thing holding him up was Marcelo Mayer. Like the Red Sox didn't want to give him up, but I feel like keep putting people at the positions he's supposed to be playing.
Yeah, I think even on this offseason, although we've traded away a couple good, especially pitching prospects, we had a lot of pitching depth. We've been very stingy about who we're giving up in trades.
Yeah.
On the pitching side, but also like with Marcelo Mayer, I think he was a low top 10 prospect at the start of the last year, or maybe top 20, something like that.
Yeah, he was high up though. Yeah, for sure.
And I like his game. I don't know. Ketel Marte is Ketel Marte, but for his the price point, the prices in general, especially over this offseason, have been insane. So
I think until there's a hard reset with the collective bargaining, it's going to be.
Yeah, we'll see if there's a lockout next year.
I mean, we'll see if there's
when
a
you have
season.
reports coming out that Steve
when there is a
Cohen
lockout.
and the Dodgers ownership group are also in favor of a salary cap now. Like, it seems like all the owners are getting in line, and that's what they're going to push for.
Well, the owners would love a salary cap. It's the players that I'm skeptical about.
Yeah, I mean, I think the players, some of them will vote for it because I think it.
I feel like the minority will be the people voting against it, because they're like. Do you guys watch Trevor May on YouTube?
Not a ton.
A little bit.
I watched a little bit.
He talked about like the concept of how like, who was I think it was one of the Rogers twins. Like once like, they hit free agency for the first time at 34, where it's like that window of like these $700 million players are so minimum that like you're not going to get that as the majority vote.
Right.
So it's going to be very interesting.
Well, and the other thing with the salary cap is with the salary cap, people have been talking about introduction of a salary floor, which is arguably more important.
I would say, yeah.
And I think a lot of players don't understand that the only players that would be getting massive pay cuts are the superstars, are the biggest names in the sport. And a lot of the mid and utility lower level guys are going to get good bumps from if a salary cap comes in play.
What I'd be interested to see is, because baseball is a unique sport, it's not like football or basketball, or even hockey to that extent. But I think hockey's a little bit more like baseball.
Hockey's closer, I think.
In that you have vastly different positions. So I think it would be interesting to have a pitcher salary cap and a hitter salary cap. I don't know what it would look like. This is like a preliminary
I feel like the
idea.
closest thing to that should be football.
Football has
with hockey, you like
hockey.
Your
You
McDavid and Kaprizov contracts could be given to a Makar or eventually like a Schaefer.
Right.
But your Mahomes and Hurts contracts will never compare to what's it like a Trent McDuffie contract,
running back contract.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think football would honestly be the closest thing.
I was going to say with comparing baseball and hockey, you'll probably, if there's a salary cap, you'll probably see more of the kind of like two-way deals where there's the salary difference between AAA and the majors.
Yeah, they have that deal now, but I mean that doesn't get handed out frequently at all. That's like you might have 2 or 3 guys on a team that have that sort of split contract. But I think it's going to be the most interesting to see what they do with the salary cap, not just if they implement it, but what it actually looks like in practice.
Yeah, and with the lockout, I think it's a tough topic because obviously people we want a season. Also,
yeah,
that's the other scary thing is how much of a season would be cut if there's a big lockout. Like
it also has like a national economic impact too.
It does.
Yeah,
that's so many jobs.
Yeah, I don't know how to gauge like right now what the the general consensus among like the entire baseball world. Like, we kind of know players are against it. We kind of know owners are for it.
Then
But
like the players that we know are against it are mainly the superstars because they speak
Yeah.
out on it.
Mhm.
So I feel
Yeah.
like
The-
that's
the-
where like the
the loud
anonymous
minority.
poll like
Yeah.
comes at. Was the last like when was the last like lockout of a Big Four? Like real.
It was the MLB lockout.
It was the MLB lockout before the 2022 season, but again,
Yeah.
that didn't even go that deep because again,
Well,
they
that's
kind
what-
of
like
kicked
there was
the
what there
can
was
down the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
the 04 lockout
say, was it
for the NHL.
The,
Yeah.
Like the NHL 04 was the last full season lockout, right?
Yeah, that was the last full
think so.
season. You had the '94 MLB lockout too. That was half the year. But yeah, I mean, I'm and this might be a hot take. I'm fine with like a 30-game lockout, 40-game lockout if they actually fix the issues of the sport. Like, I don't want to see them do a 2022, kick the can down the road, and just kind of punt on the issue.
Or the NBA, we're gonna look to implement things
Right.
that will reduce tanking.
They'll never do that. The NFL with player
I
safety
can't
is the
stand
same
the
way.
NBA right now, bro.
The NBA is the worst of the Big Four. I could
Like,
do
the-
a whole hour on that.
Especially after the WBC and the Olympics, there's no way I could see the NBA as anything but fourth.
Yeah,
in
100%.
in the grand scheme.
And what sucks is that like I think a few years ago, before like the last two WBCs were huge. Obviously, all of the NHL international play has been huge recently, and then the NFL is just the NFL. Like the NBA was up there because there was just a lot of ethical hooping going on. Like it was,
Yeah.
you had the parity. Like because now we're about to get into a dynasty era, but like there was so much parity. It was Jokic getting rings, like Heat making the finals, like all this awesome stuff. But now it's just like Cade's gonna miss what could have been an MVP season because of his lung. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's gonna miss that.
Now, is he out for next year too?
Cade,
Yeah. How long is that?
right now it's just time, but like he could theoretically, they didn't express how severe it was. He could come back this season, but like if he misses more than 2 weeks, which assuming he will, he has a collapsed
Yeah,
lung,
he's-
like he's done.
Right.
Or even like Luka is on an MVP run right now, like or full single-handedly carrying the Lakers. And
100 points in less than
in
2 days.
Yes, like
Mhm.
and then like the NBA drops their MVP rankings today, and Shea's still number one. Like it's so annoying. Like yeah, the 20-point streak, the 20-point game streak is a crazy record, but you have to acknowledge like what's going on now and the ethics of how it's happened.
I was terrified one day. I went on my phone. I think it was the day after or 2 days after Bam got the 83, and I look on my phone and it says Shea Gilgeous-Alexander beats Wilt Chamberlain's record, and I go, no way he got more than 100 in a game. And no, it was the 20-game point streak that he broke. It's like, thank God he didn't, like the day after Bam got it, break the 100-point record.
Now Bam's record-breaking game.
We want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know.
I'm willing to talk.
I don't know what
I-
your takes on it are, but
Do you want me to? I can go first.
sure,
you
go
go
first.
So literally like 3 days before the game. Do you guys want?
Can we just explain? So Bam had what 83 points,
83 points.
and that's now tied for the second most.
No,
I think they did
not
second.
outright.
Outright second most. I'm sorry.
It's
outright second
it
most.
broke Kobe Bryant's
Will
81.
be
Yes.
Kobe.
Yes, it's
Yes.
Will
But-
be Kobe
it's now the most points in a game that we have footage of.
in the modern NBA.
Yes.
Yeah. I think so. 3 days prior, this NBA like YouTuber video essay got Jimmy High Roller made a video of like, is it possible to break the 100-point record? And he explained how. And genuinely, like every point he made was what happened during this game, except for the fact that it wasn't a close game. I understand that people are like, oh, it's unethical, but I think if this happened 3 years ago, when like like what we were saying during the Heat runs and all this, like this conversation of was it ethical or not, like wouldn't really be as prominent. I think like it's 83 points. Whether you want like, yeah, he shot all these free throws, he still scored 83 points. Like period.
It's no. Go ahead, Joe.
I
think
I,
that's the most
I
different
100% agree.
Like if it was easy and
Yeah,
like people
not-
wanted to hate on it,
Oh,
they'd
yeah.
want to do it every day.
Not everyone, Bam was getting triple teamed at the end of the game. That's why he had so many free throws.
Yeah.
If you're gonna triple team a guy and you can't stop him from scoring, then he deserves whatever amount of points he gets.
Yeah.
And like we can talk about like ethical hooping and that, but like if we look back at Wilt's run, it was very similar. He was not being ethical in that game where he scored 100. Every one of his teammates was trying to pass him the ball, getting him to the record, and like it's also down to the fact of like it's a lot of the Kobe Glazers that hate that Kobe's record got broken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like if a team can't stop you, then why wouldn't you? And if it's working, if you're winning the game, why wouldn't you keep scoring?
Eric Spoelstra dropped a crazy bar after. He was like, yeah, like coaches are giving me all this crap for it. Like everybody wanted me to be a traditionalist, but I'm a Darwinist in this league. And I thought that was so tough of like, yeah, he wasn't just going to listen. He was going to go out and do it. Because like, yeah, like if you have a player at 81 points, like why not just send him out? Like I think that argument is so stupid.
Oh, no, I 100% agree that I think 83 points is 83 points. That's incredible. Like, if it was easy, you'd have more even elite hoopers doing it. Bam is not in the top 10 of guys in this league. The fact that he put up 83 is crazy. I think it's the least interesting record to break because it's just not
It's
exciting.
one game. He scored 20 the next game.
It's
Like,
also
Right.
you could make the argument he didn't break it. I mean, he got to second.
He got
still
to
very impressive.
which I think we consider
But-
to be the record, though. It's like 100 points in a game. Do we think that's going to happen
Probably.
in our lifetime?
I mean,
I think the way you're seeing, like, if you get Shea on like that perfect storm of like a Tuesday playing the Wizards where no one cares. Like,
that's the other part of it. It's a big chance and a little bit of intentionality along with just
Yeah.
being on a heater. Not
Right.
You can't score like that every day.
No.
And it's also where like the Heat are like in this point of like play-in, right? If it was OKC and Shea's at 40 in the second quarter, they're going to take him out just because that means they're up 50 points.
Right.
Like because they're in a playoff spot, they're contending. Like you have to have such a perfect storm that
To me, I think it's like the least interesting game to watch, the least interesting record to break. It's cool, and hey, shout out Bam. That's a great game, but I don't know. It doesn't move the needle for me for Bam as a player, and it just wasn't interesting.
and I think that's a point because I think a lot of people take that because like the 81 just happened to be Kobe. Like respectfully, Luka, is Luka the next highest at 73?
I think
and hell,
so.
Devin Booker has 71. Like, yeah, those are some great basketball players. Obviously, Luka is in a different league than Devin Booker, but no one's like, oh my God, Devin Booker is the 5th greatest player of all time.
And even if we talked about Kobe and people were saying, you know, Kobe's 81 is the most ethical because he was trying to they were in that game, they were completely in it. It was a close game, they were trying to win. But you don't think that his teammates were also trying to pass him the ball, trying to feed him
Definitely,
points?
yeah.
If you're hot, if Bam was hot that night, if you're hot, why wouldn't you be, keep getting fed the ball if you're going to get points?
Yeah, I agree.
I also
Use it,
think
yeah.
that, like, if Matt brought up the point where we'd see more people doing it, I think one issue where we haven't is, like, because we've had these traditionalist coaches take a guy out after they have 60 points after 3 quarters, like Harden on the Rockets, like Mike
Yes.
D'Antoni talking. And Harden's never been that close again. Like, you got to let guys, when they're hot like this, you got to let them feast and see what they can do.
It's the new NBA, like point blank. Like I think you're only gonna see it out of coaches like Eric Spoelstra, like I don't know who else, like Doc Rivers. No,
I think just young coaches would be like the most likely to. I think.
Really.
I think guys coming up would be the most likely to, because I think
I still think it's a bubble though, because I think right. So your point of like in our lifetime, I think it'll be a while, because I think the generations that would have done it are like Akura, Spoelstra, of like they're almost out, but like they played in like dead ball, like ethical hoop era. Like I think the pocket you're seeing now of like coaches in their 40s, 50s are not gonna do it, but then like once you get all these. Like I don't know, like when Duke's coach eventually makes it to the NBA, like I don't think he's gonna stay at Duke for his whole life. But like,
He almost got fired after he
Yeah.
almost lost
Yeah.
to Siena.
but like I think like this next generation of coaches, because you're gonna see that this is what happens when you keep a player in. Like they all just watch Bam score.
Yeah. But I think the younger coaches are more likely to have less respect for pulling a guy. I think that's would be kind of a respect move. Would be like, all right, he's at 60. It's a Washington Wizards game on a
No, yes, I completely
Tuesday.
I completely
You know, I
Keep
think
him in.
that's a traditional basketball thing. Would be like, hey, let's get this guy out. You had a great game. You dropped 60. Get him off his feet. But I think now younger guys would be like, yeah, just let him ride.
because we saw it. Like
Because
I,
we saw, yeah, just let a guy run. Let's win this game 140 to 1, whatever they want it. You know.
And I think with the NHL, with hockey, it's a little bit different because you have to, the lines cycle constantly.
Yeah.
But the same thing with the MLB and NFL. If a team can't stop, getting
Dolphins put
destroyed.
up 70.
Yeah.
On the Broncos. Yeah, and I'm all
And
for
look
it.
at where the Dolphins are at now.
Exactly. I'm all for it. If the Dolphins beat the Broncos 70-20 a couple years ago, they should have scored more. If they have the opportunity and the team that they're playing can't defend themselves, then why would they stop? Same thing with the MLB. I think the MLB is brutal. Baseball is brutal because you can't. There's no turnovers in the same way that there is in any other sport. When you're in a half inning, you're in that inning until 3 outs are scored, or 3 outs are recorded, no matter what. So hypothetically, you could have an infinite amount of points in one inning if guys just never lost, never struck out or anything.
The one thing I'll say with MLB is I think when you're winning that big, if you don't have some sort of crazy pitching performance going on, you should. If your starter goes 6, whatever, he gives up like 2 or 3 runs, and it's just a regular run-of-the-mill start, I think putting in, guys that
Position players?
No, not position players, but guys that don't get work in the bullpen, I think that's the most ethical way to play it. If you're winning by like 15 runs, it should just be send out your worst bullpen guy.
And in terms of that, I mean, it's more talking about the offense not letting up. But even in that sense, unless somebody is on an insane run, they have like a cycle or like 3 home runs or something, keep them in the game. But giving other players an opportunity, and I guess you could make the argument for other sports as well. But just in the spirit of crazy scores.
Yeah. So do we want to round out and talk about hockey? We've talked about all.
Sure.
We've talked about all 3. Yeah.
You want to talk about the trade deadline?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah, or I can first because the Bruins trade deadline was pretty bare bones. We had, I think, 2 trades of prospects with the Phillies and somebody else.
The Flyers.
Yes, the Flyers. Yeah. Sorry. The only thing I have to say is that Lucas Reichel, who we got from them, played his first NHL game last night against Winnipeg and got his first Bruins goal. So it's good to see. You get a little change of scenery for him. But other than that, just fighting for a playoff spot. It seems like it's better to be in the Atlantic right now.
100%.
Because and the thing that we've been watching with points throughout the last couple of weeks is, if we're going to be fighting with these teams like Columbus and Washington's kind of in a rough spot, but Columbus and Ottawa
and us and us.
And the Penguins and the Islanders now.
Yeah.
It's better to have more points than that the third team in the Metro. Like right now, I think.
Well, can
you go to standings overall without wild card? So we can see divisions.
Dan, I don't know if you'll get this on the screen in the episode, but I just want to talk about the statistic that pisses me off the most here is that the Penguins have 16 OT losses, and teams like the Islanders and Devils are both behind them, and the Blue Jackets with more regulation wins, and obviously, so the Islanders are 10-0 in overtime, so
we could just as easily be in a similar spot.
and we could, and maybe that's my bias showing because we've won them, but that statistic is starting to really get to me now because it is so annoying being in these single digit. And let's talk about the Devils too. They're at 2 OT losses. I don't know their overtime record, but that the pity point is just so annoying at this point.
I like it. I think
I'm over it.
We've been on the other side of that for so long.
I like the pity point. If we want it to be less cheese, I think make an OT win 2 points and then make a regulation win 3. because
Yeah.
then it would incentivize teams to win in regulation.
Yeah.
And then it would be like college hockey.
Yeah,
I think there should be a
college
point
hockey
sharing.
runs the same way.
Yeah.
A lot of international tournaments run the same way
Yeah.
as well. It's weird that just the NHL regular season runs differently.
I also just think that the NHL needs to adopt a new playoff system in general because
I like
The
the
fact-
game series.
no, not that.
4
I'm talking about the
times.
seeding. I'm saying that
Oh, yeah.
the fact that one of Dallas or Minnesota are not going to be in the second round of the playoffs, but one of the Oilers or the Knights will.
Well, what Joe and I have routinely talked about is that you're going to see a team in the East get snubbed. Whether it's right now, we're on the outside looking in.
Right now it's the Islanders.
It could be
the
us.
Jackets.
It could be the Jackets.
It
Wings.
could be the Senators.
It could be the Bruins. It could be
Could be the Canadiens.
It could be the Canadians, yeah. I mean, there are so many good teams in the East that will be left out in favor of and look at the bottom, Los Angeles Kings are going to get a playoff bid. Seattle
the
Kraken.
The current
might get
wild
a playoff
card
bid.
in the West
It's
is
a joke.
Kings and Mammoth.
It's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke.
To quote Darren Ruff.
And it's funny because at the beginning of the season, we were all looking at the standings and saying, wow, the West is so much better than the East. And that's really because of 3 teams. It's
Yeah.
the Avalanche,
And they're
Stars,
all
Wild,
in one. They're all in one division too.
all in the Central. And they're probably
No other team in the West has above 80 points.
Any one of us and up would be running the Pacific Division right now.
Yes.
the Wild
It's
is
such a
at
joke.
worst the 6th best team in the league. If we say that the Avs, Stars, Sabres, Lightning, and Hurricanes are better than them, and I don't even know if that's true.
I don't even know if that's true, but on this sheet, it's arguably true.
If you go to full league standings, the Islanders are 12th in the league, I believe, right now, and the Kings are 21st in a playoff spot.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
It is so ridiculous.
I mean, you look at this. Other than the Avs, Stars, and Wild, you go all the way down. Where's the first West team after those 3 is the Ducks, and they're what 13th?
Yeah.
Something like
And the
that?
Ducks aren't good. Like if
14th?
I think the Wild they're 5th in the league. I would take the Wild over the Sabres. I think the Sabres and I forget
It's just that
which.
the Sabres are like raw right now. Like,
The Sabres are just hot.
The Sabres are hot. They're fun.
I think
but-
they're going to be electric in the playoffs. I just think that experience is going to be purely getting to them. Like I think I hope for success out of them.
They have also been statistically one of the luckiest teams too. I was watching a breakdown. I don't remember who it was, but was showing their close range goals are some of the highest in the league.
Can we give a shout out to Hockey Psychology? Because I think
Yeah.
the 3 of us are all avid watchers.
Yeah.
So shout out Hockey Psychology.
Yeah, this was not a hockey psychology breakdown, but I don't remember who it was, but
Close your damn legs.
it was a great breakdown of just like the Sabres have been such statistical outliers, especially in goaltending too. Who's there? Can you go to the
UPL is not the
no,
starter
Dan?
right
can
now.
you go to the Sabres depth chart?
And the
I can't
Senators
remember
are
his
on the
name for the
exact
life of me.
opposite of they're such an anomaly with goaltending that if they had a goaltender, they would be up there in the
Who, the Oilers?
the Senators.
Oh, the
Oilers
Senators.
are their own story. They just need
Keep going.
Shout out
Justin
Josh
Danforth.
Stone.
Ju-
Shout out Josh Stone.
And Justin Danforth.
Alex Lyon has been for his whole career a backup goaltender, gotten into 20, 30 games. This year he's playing out of his mind. Good for him. Hey, he's going to have a good year. I hope that the Sabres don't pay him. I hope they don't see this as like an opportunity to pay him because this is not Alex Lyon for the rest of his career.
Shout out though to Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Yes.
The best goaltender name in the game.
Yeah.
By far.
UPL. is
I
a
think
dog.
I'm going to toss out one of the best names, period.
Yeah, easily. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
We're all in agreement.
Yeah.
So the Bruins deadline was basically nothing, but the Islanders made some moves.
Islanders had an exciting deadline.
It was fun. Yeah.
It started out with the Palat trade wasn't a deadline trade. I'm fine with it.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest question mark that people had was the Braden Shen trade because I think they thought we gave up a lot. I think we talked about it at NAC of like Jonathan Drouin was doing nothing. Like it
That was a
completely-
net gain. Jonathan Duran leaving is a net gain.
Yeah. The first round pick that we gave up was the Avs, so pick 32. Like congrats. What did we give up? Like a third and a fourth in a year or two.
Yeah, something like
Like it
It's-
seems like a crazy haul just because of volume, but realistically, it's I think honestly the biggest loss. I mean, you can say the first just because it has
obviously
the
the
label.
first, just because it's the
but-
first round pick. But
But outside of that, like I'm fine with it. I thought, did you watch the game yesterday?
yeah, I was
It
watching
was
the ending. Was,
yeah,
was
brutal. I mean,
Brady
the
Tkachuk
Islanders had 0
Great
shots in the last 18 minutes. I thought the cross check to Pellick was a little bit of a missed call, but
Oh yeah, I mean,
I only think it's a missed call.
0 shots in 18 minutes.
yeah, I mean,
That too.
if we snuck out of that game with a point, which is what I was hoping for,
Yeah.
that would have been great.
Yeah.
But
Ag-
they didn't
against-
deserve to get a
against
point.
the
Senators.
The Senators.
So
That-
that was
Ottawa.
brutal.
the Senators are on a bit of a heater. Columbus is on like a 12-game point streak.
Yeah,
They've been on a heater for like 2 months, ever since they got that new coach.
They've been going crazy.
Um,
I'm a little nervous, but
I don't know. Well, we've low-key
We'll
lost
see.
2 games to them this season.
Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the thing with the Islanders this year is that this was not the expectation at all. So
no. Again, it's like a Mets. Like if we have no expectations, it's phenomenal.
yeah. So like realistically, whatever happens, I think next year is going to be a big step because we signed Agenson, we signed Yzerman, and they're going to play. Like they're going to figure that out. So
Yeah.
some people are moving.
I think in terms of just positioning, both of our teams are
Set up
in
for
a
some
much
success.
better spot than what I
Last.
think either of us thought going
Yeah.
into
100%.
the
Like
last year.
I mean, we can talk about it just because we watch it more, but like the Matthew Schaefer effect is so real. Like you're gonna have so many free agents now who just because they get to like play with Matthew Schaefer will want to come to the Islanders, and that hasn't happened ever.
Yeah, I mean, I
Right,
think
so,
we,
like-
we have guys that people want to play with.
Yes.
You have Bo Horvat is a guy that people respect in the league.
Yeah, I think Matt Barzal had a very under the radar solid season.
He's been a great assist guy. He's
yeah,
a
and
ton of apples. this
I
year.
think people are gonna see that. Like the Islanders have a solid core coming up that could be dangerous.
It's fun to be excited about young guys.
It's a feeling that I have
yeah.
not had.
The
Ever.
the Hockey East tournament semifinals were today. We'll see if
Merrimack won.
Merrimack won. I don't know about BC versus. Can you check the BC versus Yukon score? I'm kind of rooting against BC, not just because I'm from Connecticut, but also if they don't make the tournament, we might see James Higgins early. A couple other young guys, Fraser Mitten.
Islanders could have been legend.
Excited for the first pick from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Hopefully the Leafs stay outside the top 5 for their pick.
With showing everything but the score on the TV. Right?
Now we hadn't had an episode going up to the draft for a while. This was last year's draft, but I don't know if you have seen them, Ryan. But going up to the draft, I had seen several "Bring Higgins Home" bumper stickers, which was absurd.
I'm not that west.
You're not
Wow,
west enough for that.
into
but yeah.
overtime.
No.
Wow, that's exciting.
There was a kid from our town. It was like 2018 or 19. Robert Mastromoni. He drafted first round. I think to Detroit, but now I think he's in the Toronto system.
We just have a history of turning Long Island young guys into
You did it.
sending them to college in Boston and then keeping them in the city.
Yep. Charlie McAvoy.
Do you think
Charlie McAvoy as well.
Do you think your next captain should be McAvoy or Pasternak? I saw this as a debate the other day.
That's
I don't
a
think it's a
tough
debate.
one. It's
I don't think it's a debate.
what you think it would be McAvoy?
100%.
Yeah, it's McAvoy.
I think in line the Bruins also have a big history of naming defenseman captains. I wouldn't be opposed either way. I think keeping Pasta as focusing on his game more than leadership, I think is the most important because he needs to be the biggest contributor on that team.
He's also like a spark plug, I feel.
He doesn't look like he's doing anything
No.
until he scores or gets an assist. And I feel like for a captain, especially McAvoy has had some big moments this year, he has like 4 teeth left.
Yeah, no, he plays his heart out
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
game.
No, you convinced me. I think McAvoy for sure. Pasta should get the A, and then
Yeah, he can keep the A.
the other A,
Morgan Geeky.
Geeky or I think Hampus Lindholm has had it. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think
I just think they had so many, like, after Chara left, they were just like Bergeron and Marchand were like due, and I feel like you're just at this point.
Bergeron deserved it. Marchand, that's kind of a black hole of a year anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, whatever. I thought it was fine.
I think the Islanders. I love Anders Lee, but I think it's time for a sea change. I love the guy. He's a dog. He's a great guy in the slot, but
Could have been Brock.
But before we wrap up, Dan, do you want to talk about the Rangers a little bit?
Yeah, sure. A total waste of a year.
Do you
where
have a letter to read?
No, I don't have a letter to read. That was the Rangers that sent that out. Yeah, for a while there, the Canes and Islanders had the same amount of wins at MSG as the Rangers in regulation.
When was that broken? Like
It was broken
just
like,
recently.
February?
Yeah, it was broken like right after everyone was posting about that they only had 2 regulation wins, along with the Islanders and Canes. But it's just like a waste of a year. The entire locker room has been a shell of
Toxic.
itself since they were shopping Trouba, which like should have been a net gain. But once you ship out Trouba and immediately give Shesterkin the contract extension, being as massive as it was, like no one's playing for each other. We thought that Mike Sullivan would bring us something. Team's been worse than last year. Only bright spot is that Vincent Trocheck and JT Miller were American Patriots on that PK. Other than that, we had nothing going for us.
I think the Rangers have such a bad year because they didn't commit to the full sale. If they had sold everything, people would have been like, "That's fine. That's what we were expecting." I would have loved to see that.
Now you're stuck with all these like 3-4 year contracts, and then the whopping of Shesterkin.
Right?
Like,
and I mean, he's a guy you build a team around for sure. But I mean,
then high key you get the argument of like why you shouldn't pay goalies.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, now you don't have a lot of money to build that team around.
I don't know.
They had a bad season, not because of the way they played on the ice, which was bad, but because of the way they played off the ice, which was worse.
Like JT Miller should have never been captain. I don't know why.
I love JT Miller, but no.
They also waited too long to trade Panarin because after last year's deadline, you knew you weren't getting anything what you had wanted, especially after like the Marchand trade. It's like you knew only set teams that were at the top of the league were going to take him, so you weren't actually going to get anything of value out of it. It's just a whole bunch of mid. Chris Drury
not even mid, bro. Like
has ruined what was like built up as like you have all the pieces to win. Chris Drury just doesn't know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a great goalie contract in hindsight.
Don't stop. It was not. It was an average goalie contract.
It was. I would have liked him for less money, but he's playing up to his station this year. Last year he was horrible.
I think
in a Bruins jersey, he's playing very well. In an American jersey.
Well, he had the one game,
hard.
And the boards were in his way. The boards prevented him from seeing the puck. Otherwise, he would have shut them out, and then shut out the Canadiens in the final.
Sure.
Well, we want to leave you there. I did have a game, but I think we're gonna have to save it to next time. We're running a little tight on time tonight.
So 2027.
No, we'll be back next week. Next week, mark your calendars. We'll find a time. We might not be here.
I was gonna say there's a non-zero chance.
It might be also over Discord.
It'll be over Zoom before it's over Discord, big guy. Slack.
Microsoft Teams.
All right. So look forward to the next podcast on Microsoft Teams. Signing off. This has been the 3 Points Podcast. Thank you, and welcome back.